Dave Chappelle is considered one of the greatest comedians of all time and arguably the best. He wrote a film that's achieved cult status in Half-Baked, had a legendary critically acclaimed cable TV show, Chappelle's Show, and took the streaming world by storm with a $60 million deal with Netflix for his stand-up specials. As fans, we all know that Dave is a once-in-a-generation talent, but when you get the same admiration from your peers, some of the most talented people in their craft, that's when you know you're a legend. In this video, we look at some hilarious and great stories from other comedians and celebrities as they admire Dave Chappelle. But before we do that, like and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for when we release new videos. First, we have on the Joe Rogan Experience, Kevin Hart telling a hilarious story about how free and awesome Dave can be with just doing his shows whenever he wants.
Are you ready to laugh? Here's a great Dave Chappelle story. I'm in Seattle. I think I was in Seattle. Sold out. Got like some arena fucking thing I'm doing in Seattle.
Here, Kevin Hart tells a great Dave Chappelle story about when he was in Seattle doing a show at a sold-out arena. He gets word that Chappelle is in Seattle and randomly puts up a theater show. That night, he calls Dave and asks if he really is in Seattle and asks why wouldn't he have called him, as Kevin was also in Seattle.
I'm here. I'm at the theater. Oh, I didn't even know, man. What you mean? Dave, I'm at the fucking arena. What? All right, I'm going to see if I can get down there to you. All right, man, yeah, I just put them up. What time you think you're going to get here?
Chappelle's pure awesomeness befuddles Hart, and then doubles down by nonchalantly saying that he'll just push the time of the show back to accommodate Kevin.
Dave, what? Push the time back? What did you put on set? I don't know, man. I just tell him I'll do it and I'll show up, man. I just call him, tell him we're going to push it back, man.
Later, Kevin Hart tells how he gets to the theater after his show, and Dave has some kind of trailer for his motorcycle.
Has a trailer, and there's like a little motor thing on the back of the trailer. It's like a little bus, a fucking motor trend like bus, and then there's like the things that you pull shit in attached to it.
Kevin's confused on exactly what Dave's doing with the trailer and a motorcycle, and Dave goes on to explain.
We ride across country, so when I need money, I just book a show and just tell them, what? What? What the fuck?
He's so different.
He's so different.
On the Howard Stern show in 2019, comedian Trevor Noah was asked how he feels when he bombs on a set and what he does about it. He shares some of the wise words Dave Chappelle gave to him, changing his perspective on how he approaches comedy.
We were doing a show at Radio City together. It was during his run.
Right.
And I was on one of the shows, and he said to me, I said, man, what am I going to tell these? Because I was like, I'm going to do comedy before Dave Chappelle.
In this clip, Trevor Noah talks about doing a set with Chappelle during his run at Radio City Music Hall. Trevor Noah really doubted himself on what he can bring to the table, especially performing next to Chappelle.
He said, you're not here because you're funny. He says, I know 100 funny motherfuckers out there. He said, you're here because you're interesting. And he said, anyone can be funny. Not everybody can be interesting. Not everyone can make an audience listen.
This changes Trevor's whole perspective on comedy and his presence on stage.
To know what they have in their minds. And so that changed my perspective on silence. And so now, if I can hear that an audience is listening, I'm engaged.
On the Jimmy Kimmel Show, musician John Mayer shares his experience with hosting a joint concert event with Dave Chappelle. Mayer and Chappelle have a history of working together back from the Chappelle Show days.
Anybody who's struggling as a stand-up comic, one of the best things you can do is just stand next to Dave Chappelle on stage.
That's a good thing to do.
If you get the opportunity. Yeah, he's such a great guy to set up for jokes.
When he did get a chance to stand up, just standing next to Dave Chappelle was enough to make people think he was funny.
He's better at what he does than anybody is at anything they do. That's why you go and see Dave. He's a great comic, but you're also watching someone just nail something.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Mayer continues on by comparing the excellence of Dave Chappelle in comedy to Tom Brady in sports. And even if you don't like the genre, you can't help but watch and appreciate in awe.
How does someone's brain do that? And then all I have to do is say like 2 funny things, and people walk out going, those guys were hilarious.
During a podcast, comedian Dane Cook revisits his early days with a young Chappelle. Even back then, the older Dane Cook knew Chappelle was something special and wise beyond his years.
Chappelle was there, and he was still a kid. I think I was 19. He might have been 15 or 16. And then over those couple of years, believe it or not, watching Dave was like, oh, this guy's a master at this already.
It was Chappelle's tempo and his ability to calm down and his silence that even at a young age captivated Cook.
I also came from that, like, I wanted to get out of the gate. Yeah. Some of that probably is a little fear because you don't want to slow down, because slowing down means maybe I hear something I don't want to hear, you know?
Right.
So I would watch him.
They then became friendly after some time on the comedy circuit, eventually doing college gigs together. And it's here when Chappelle gives Cook legendary advice.
He'd be like, man, the power is in the silence. And he really showed me. So he was one of those guys, and he still is. I mean, I love watching him. If I can see Chappelle perform somewhere, I feel like it's always a masterclass with him.
In this clip, legendary comedian Jerry Seinfeld and multi-talented actor-comedian Jamie Foxx share a laugh about how Chappelle goes about his work. Jamie Foxx even throws in a spot-on Dave Chappelle impression.
But then I watch Chappelle, and then I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because Chappelle's like, you know.
Yeah.
I was incensed. Damn. Can't talk about nothing, man.
Fox then talks about how he loves Dave Chappelle because of how he combines his hoodness with big vocabulary.
I was beside myself. I was chartreuse. Bam! Perspicacity of these people.
And on his own podcast, Joe Rogan explains to comedian Brendan Schaub what it's like to work with Chappelle, and shares stories about being around Chappelle's rock star status. He also details the reason why he's so funny.
We do this fucking sold-out show in the Tacoma Dome. We break the all-time attendance record for the Tacoma Dome.
In this clip, Joe Rogan talks about how he did a show with Chappelle in Seattle, Washington. They do this show, and in Rogan's words, Ashley Barnell comes on and murders it. Ian Edwards comes on next, murders it. Joe himself goes on, crushes it. And then Darnell Rawlings goes in, murders it.
Murders. Then Dave goes on, lights the place on fire, pisses gasoline on the flames. Then afterwards, he and I go on stage together.
And what do you do together?
Q&A with the crowd. Darnell's got a microphone. He's going into the crowd with 5,000 people.
According to Rogan, the show was at least 3 hours and ended at about 3.5. And they immediately go from the arena straight to a movie theater that David rented out.
We have a private screening of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at 1 o'clock in the morning. Dave's eating mushrooms that some fucking guy gave him in the crowd.
Rogan continues this amazing journey with the legendary comic by then boarding a private jet to Salt Lake City immediately after the movie, where, upon landing, everyone gets an IV vitamin drip and B12 shots, and then continues the mayhem partying like rock stars with Dave in his sunglasses, cool as can be the entire time.
This is on the entire time. The whole crew is getting. He has a posse with him. He brings his own photographer. It was madness.
Legend.
I was like, okay, I see how you guys are doing it. Oh, by the way, we get picked up at the airport in a tour bus.
To echo what Kevin Hart was saying earlier, Joe goes on to say just how free Chappelle is and how he can do just about whatever he wants, which is typically the complete opposite of what goes on in Hollywood, where one bad casting, show, movie can derail your whole career.
He's a free bird. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's free. He just does whatever he wants.
He wears his own clothes, too.
He does.
Did you notice that?
On his show.
Isn't that great? Oh, I love it, man. I fucking love it.
He's living wild, man.
Later, Rogan talks about what he's learned just from being around Chappelle.
This is what I learned. There's levels to everything. And he's on this like super celebrity rock star level that's really weird. It's really weird. But he's so nice. He's so fun to be around.
Finally, Joe then talks about how Chappelle, even with all his fame and power, is just a fun guy to be around.
It's not like he's serious and then he goes on stage and then he's funny.
Yeah.
No, all day long is all day long. It's like legs slapping and looking you in the eyes and fucking cracking and high-fiving. It's fun, man. He's a fun dude.
Thanks for watching our video. Be sure to tune in for more. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.